And I will tweet the link out from my channel.
Okay, 1 second. Let me yell at some people. It's live now. Okay. You guys could like.
Yeah, I see it on my channel. It's live.
Really? I told you guys what time it was at. You're embarrassing me. No, they can hear. Where's my Twitter?
Okay. I just did like a. I forgot a comma in the tweet, but that's okay. I mean, comma. Apostrophe. It says we're, but it looks like it says were, but you know it's fine.
Cool.
It's already tweeted out. Okay.
I find it so I can retweet it.
Oh my god.
That. There we go. Okay, like, retweet.
I also put it on my YouTube story Instagram story.
I was like, what's a YouTube story?
I'm like, I know they have them, but they suck. And I think you have to have like a certain, like, you know, on your community page, you have to have a certain amount of subscribers or something to actually use it.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's the same with YouTube stories. I think you have to have at least 1,000. Or and same with the, yeah. So I don't know.
Gotcha.
But yes, it has been tweeted. Wait, I just got a news report. Oh my lord!
She's just there.
They're having a party in the back.
They're like moving the table. I don't know what they're doing.
Oh my gosh!
I made them aware of the time that this was happening, but I guess
That's okay. Okay. So
wait, where's my favorite? That one's my sister, and then this one was my roommate from Arizona who also moved here with me. Okay. They can see you here whatever you're doing, so they heard you talk about the wedding.
Funny. All right. Cool. So.
Cool beans.
Hello. Welcome to our channel. I don't have the physical copy of the book because I listened to it on Audible, but that's
same.
Okay.
I have
the audiobook was bomb.
It was from Owlcrate, so it's purple instead of green.
Oh, that's cute.
So pretty.
I kind of like the green better.
I like the purple better.
I don't know. I think the purple's just a weird shade of purple. But should we introduce ourselves?
Sure.
Okay. Y'all are on my channel. That Disney chick. I'm Cecilia. What up? Just what up? Oh.
I'm Emma from Muggle Glamour. Sarah.
I can't speak with you guys in here. It makes me feel awkward.
I live here. I've seen you.
Wow. I'm Sarah from Simply Sarah. There you go.
Lovely. Okay. So, what did you guys rate the book?
I gave it a 2.5.
Oh, snap.
Damn.
I thought I was being rough with the 3.
I gave it a 4. Did I give it a 4? I don't know. I read this at the beginning of the month, so I'm foggy.
Me too.
So now I'm like, shoot, what happened? I know a lot happened.
Yeah.
But
I think the first half of the book deserved a 5, but the second half totally dropped it.
Yeah,
so I got bored.
I think that too. But yeah, I think I gave it a 4, 3.5, 4. I can't remember off the top of my head, but one of those. In that area.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, did you like the audiobook? Because I enjoyed it. I listened, but I was hoping it was going to be the same narrator as her first book, and I'm sad that it wasn't. Because I really like the narrator of Enchantment of Ravens.
Yeah, I do think they were better. It was okay. I hated that when they were like speaking as Silas, they like whispered literally everything.
Oh my gosh, yes. And
so like I listen to audiobooks like everywhere. So I was like doing the dishes, and then the second Silas starts talking, I can't hear anything. And that like, drove me nuts because he had like no expression in his voice. It was like this monotone whisper all the time.
Yeah.
And I hated it.
I know, because like I would have to have like I would be driving while listening to the audiobook, and so I'd have to turn the volume down so I could hear Silas's voice.
Yep.
You're like, da-na-na-na, and then you hear, well, what if like it's screaming, and I'm like,
yeah.
I was like, it was such a disturbing. I'm like, I feel like you could make his voice lower, but not to the point where I have to switch.
Right.
Room.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
That just
like I thought it was like it was fine, but it wasn't like anything special where I'm like, wow, this was a great audiobook.
Yeah, like it wasn't anything to I guess to rave about, but I just hope it was. I just wish it was the same audio narrator as the first book, because I like.
Yeah. Me too.
It was good.
I don't know how you guys could fall in love with a monotone whisper.
I didn't.
Silas.
It was because his sections also weren't like very long when he was talking. Like he wouldn't have like I think he only had like one like long speech, but like most of the time I feel like he had like short bursts, so it wasn't like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like constant.
I'm wondering if I would have cared about him if I had read the book physically.
Yeah, me too.
Because I didn't care about any of them really, which is why I rated it so low. But especially him, like I really didn't care. And then reading like Goodreads reviews, it's like so many people are like, I hated this book except for Silas, and I was like, that's interesting because I thought he was so boring. I don't know.
I didn't see I guess I didn't see what everyone else thought about him was. Like the whole book felt like a threesome that that basically she was like, let's all have sex together, and they were not down.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like, because she was always like, oh my god, Silas, like, and none of us felt that way.
I think she had so much more chemistry with Silas than with Nathaniel.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And then I was also like, does Silas have not have feelings, but like
attraction?
Demons have like attraction. Like it wasn't really talked about, but I assumed no, unless it's maybe towards another demon.
Specifically, that he doesn't.
Yeah,
and that's why I slowly started to like not care for it, because it felt like Nathaniel could have whoever he wanted, and he didn't really care, because he liked whatever. Whereas, and then they were like, and Silas doesn't have attraction towards humans, so I was like, what am I supposed to hope for? They're making all these events drag on, and they're not like super interesting. So if I can't hope for the possibility of Elizabeth and Silas, what is there for me?
Right.
Yeah, there was no like romance to root for. They all kind of felt like lackluster in the romance department.
Mm-hmm.
Which at some points where you're forcing it, you're like, can you just cut it out or do better? Like that's all I want.
Yeah.
That's all I need. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Nathaniel was lacking the pulled back, dark, mysterious kind of thing. Like in the beginning of the book, it had that, and I think that's what had me drawn in. But then, as soon as like they started, like Nathaniel started to show that he might actually like her, he started to become like not mushy, but like less intense,
dark,
and like have like less depth or something. And after that, I was just kind of bored with it.
Yeah. It was weird. Like, I noticed kind of like halfway through the book at first, because in the first part, so much happened, and I was like, whoa, happening. Yeah, this is rare, I feel like sometimes. I feel like sometimes YA just teeters along plot-wise. But I was kind of surprised that so much was happening at once. And then I had a moment where I was like, wait, but none of these characters feel developed. So then I was kind of like, wait a minute. But I still, like, I enjoyed myself plot-wise because I'm more of a plot-driven reader, so I didn't really care that they were underdeveloped. Yes?
Or something?
No, I'm on a live show.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I'll be quiet. That was my mom. But yes.
Yeah, I agree. I think the first 25% of it, I was like, this is so cool. And I was like loving it. And then that book's just way too long. Like, I swear it could have ended like 5 different times before it actually ended. And so by the end of it, it was like I lost interest, I think.
Yeah, there was multiple points where I think this book would have benefited if it was a duology. Or you kind of split it up, because I feel like I would have loved it if it was 2 separate books.
Yeah.
Because I feel like so much happened to the point where I was like, are you sure this isn't done yet? And I looked up like, oh, there's still 5 more hours in this audiobook.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do now? Like,
that's true. Yeah, I don't know. It was odd. Because I had like really high expectations for it too. Because like everyone and their mother was like, "This book's amazing."
True.
And I liked Enchantment of Ravens better.
Me
and
too.
I read that this month too, like before this one. And so I was like, "Wow!" Like, if it's as good as this, then I'll love it. And then it wasn't, and I was like, "Okay."
Which I thought was weird, because a lot of people didn't like Enchantment of Ravens. So I was
and like you look at the plot of this book, and I was like, that seems more interesting to me than the plot of Enchantment of Ravens. But I don't know.
I think it was just executed better in Enchantment of Ravens.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I totally lost my train of thought. I was going to say something. Now I'm going to have to think about it again. There was... Oh, wait. So, the villain. What did you guys think of him?
I liked him at first, but then I feel like he got not as intimidating, and he could have been way more scary. And I think when they went to like confront him at the ball, it wasn't. It's like meh. But I feel like the fight scene when Silas, died or whatever, or disappeared, that was kind of cool, and I liked it. But I just feel like it could have been, more extreme.
Yeah.
And then he got away, so that was kind of irritating.
That wasn't irritating.
Yeah, I think I don't know, he just wasn't that evil, which was annoying. And then I feel like we really didn't ever learn that much about him either. So he was underdeveloped like the rest of them. So it's just like, okay. Like, it just felt like, oh, this guy's the villain. That's all you need to know. And I was like, okay, I guess.
I was surprised his demon wasn't in it more, because she seemed like villain. And I was like, more afraid of her than I was of what was even his name?
I do not remember.
We'll
Wait, whose name?
Because that's what he was.
The villain guy?
Chancellor.
Shoot. I know it was Chancellor. Crap. See, I can't remember his name. That's great. I'm gonna look it up now. Sorcery of Thorns Castler. I thought that he was. It felt like he was introduced as the villain too quickly. Because I feel like he was introduced as a villain in the first third of the book, and I was like, okay, so is the book gonna end soon? I was expecting it to be a whole twist thing, and I was like, okay, I wasn't that surprised that he was the villain, and then afterwards I was kind of like, so we're just teetering along, or are we gonna have a second villain? Are we gonna know more about this villain? And it kind of felt stagnant from that.
Yeah.
And then he wasn't there for a while of the book, and I was like, wait, what's going on?
I know. What's his name?
Ashcroft.
Ashcroft.
I knew it was something weird.
Yeah.
It was strange.
When he first showed up, I thought it was gonna be some older suitor for her. I was like, okay, if I can't have this person or whoever, then at least there's an older gentleman. They're like, oh, he's married. I'm like, oh, and then I feel like her being trapped there was okay, but it was dragged on. And then she was sent to the asylum where she escaped, but that was also kind of the scene after was dragged on, and then the part where she was in Nathaniel's house, that was also dragged on. So if you like cut those out,
Mm-hmm.
It could be like 100 pages shorter.
Oh, easily.
Even better.
Easily. You just cut like if you just like I feel like the whole asylum thing was like so unnecessary.
Yeah.
I didn't think it needed to be in the book. I think you could have just added that part into Ashcroft's stay, and then Ashcroft like spread a huge rumor about her, and everyone believed him or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like the whole asylum part really didn't need to be in the book.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like she tried to like throw way too much stuff in, but somehow it ended up still being like paced really slowly. But I was like, your basic like plot line with like what the main character does for a living and like her whole like world with the books and stuff is so interesting. But we were like whisked away from that in like after like 100, I don't even know, an hour of the audiobook. We were like whisked away from that. And so it's like, I don't know. It's like she was trying to do way too much in one thing. And I feel like she focused on some weird plot stuff instead of just like sticking with like the basic, I don't know. Like you said, a duology probably would have fixed that.
Yeah. Like it was weird. Like I remember liking the first part, and then I remember at the part where she became homeless, I was like, okay, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I was like, where are we? What are we doing with this? How's everything going?
Yeah. I think I felt the same way.
It was weird.
I feel like if Nathaniel wasn't there, I would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
If it was like,
Yeah.
if it was Elizabeth and Silas, I'd be amazing. Because then it's like the tortured, like, they can't be together because he doesn't have feelings, but they could be eventually kind of thing, you know? And then at the same time, that would also pull out all of this crap about, like, his past and all that stuff that took up too much space.
Mm-hmm.
And then they focused on demons a lot, which really took away from, like, the magical book aspect.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, that was also a little much. So there was just, like, so much stuff in it that you were constantly getting new information that you couldn't focus on the stuff that was already there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if there wasn't as much, like, demon stuff or all of this unnecessary, like, settings, then we probably could have gotten more character development.
Yeah. Yeah, they changed settings a lot.
Yeah, like they were at what, 2 or 3 libraries? I can't remember how many. Nathaniel's house, I guess technically on the streets counts as one. Ashcroft's place, the asylum. There was a couple other places that I'm totally blanking on. Like there was one event room, but I don't remember exactly where that event was at, where Silas died. And but yeah. Okay, I don't know if anyone else was really confused about this one magic system thing where they could only do magic if they summon a demon. But then the demon takes years off their life. But like how exactly do they do like so like it was weird because they insinuated like, oh, I'm gonna take 20 years off their life. But then Silas at one point said, like, we don't know when people are gonna die. So I was like, do you just like age them real quick? Like instead of them being 20, now they're 40, and then you just kind of I was really confused by the whole aspect of that. That I don't know or
yeah, I didn't understand that either.
Yeah. And then when they took some from Elizabeth at the end when they were summoning Silas again, I was so wait, like they took 10 years from her, but like how? I just know they got a silver streak, but like did she get 10 years older or like I don't know. I'm confused. Someone needs to explain.
Yeah.
Did you understand that, Sarah, or no?
Yeah.
I feel like it was so confusing at first, but I don't remember if Silas said he could tell when they were going to die because when the rebel crashed at the Harrow thing, because I'm pretty sure he had said something about knowing what was going to happen, but he didn't want to, like, do something or whatever. So I just don't remember. But I think he did say that he kind of knew that it was going to happen. And maybe that's why he turned his evilness back or something. I don't know. But it was pretty confusing.
Okay, yeah. Because I'm like, I usually don't listen to fantasies on audiobook. So it's like, it could just be me multitasking as I'm listening to it and not like fully paying attention.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like, at one point, I literally rewinded. I think about an hour because I was like, I was totally lost on everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wait a minute. But yeah, it was crazy.
Who was your guys' favorite character?
What's her name? Was it Catrian?
I think it's Catrian or Cat.
I think it was Catrian. Elizabeth,
something like that.
who was also a librarian.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought she was cool.
I thought she was cool too.
Yeah.
I think she seemed like a cool friend. Like, if I would love to be friends with you, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm surprised she wasn't in it more. She was totally awesome.
Yeah, she like helped Elizabeth with all her weird shit, you know. Like, hey, even though she's against everything we believe in, I'll help you, kind of thing. And I was like,
yeah,
I like you.
Yeah, I'd probably agree because I didn't really love any of the main characters, which was annoying to me. They just, I don't know. It's like, I feel like more minor characters have a better excuse for being underdeveloped.
Yeah.
So I was like, you guys are fine. I'm not supposed to know a bunch about you. But it made me mad with all the main people.
Oh my god. What did you guys think about how they explained why she's got like not magicalness? Because they explained it how she has her. This is why I should read. I don't know. I'm so confused, but they said for some reason I think she has these abilities or she's able to do certain things was because she's lived in the library for so long, and like the magic kind of like seeped into her, like those book lice, which I also didn't like the name of it. Kind of took me out every time they brought books up.
Yeah.
But I didn't like that. I thought maybe her parents were like some kind of like cool mystical people that dropped her off at the library. So I thought that was a missed opportunity for like something awesome. Because just like, oh, she's lived in the library for so long and she's been everywhere, and it's kind of just seeped into her. And I'm just like, lame.
I remember thinking that, and I was like, is Elizabeth a sponge or something to like the aromas of the library? Because that's what it sounded like when they explained it, and I was like, that makes no damn sense.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wasn't she left there like as an orphan when she was like born or something? So like, unless she was physically born from the library, that doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. But I kind of called it at the beginning, and I was like, I swear, this bitch has magical powers. And then at the end, I was like, God damn it.
They always do.
They always do. And I was like, oh, she's special. And like,
that last battle at Harrow's was so dragged on and so like I thought, okay, the one thing about the Harrow's thing I thought was cool was that director Hyde, when he was like going into the place to get the book turned into the Malfect or whatever, that was actually Ashcroft. I thought that was cool. That was probably like the one part.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see that coming until she's like, oh my god, that's not Hyde. I was like,
they were like, Ashcroft. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was cool.
I was just being all funny, like, oh, sorry, can't hear you. I'm like,
I'm like, oh god. I'm scared. That was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. Cool. What did you guys think of our main character?
I liked her. I definitely liked her in the beginning. I'm not going to compare her to Zafira in We Hunt the Flame, but I feel like it's kind of like that, where because the characters are so underdeveloped, that because I like the main character, it was able to help carry me through. But she wasn't as amazing as Zafira was. She was like, so she's like,
yeah, I thought she has like no personality, and she's like so passive. And I don't know, it just like drove me nuts because it's like even like her like special like magic stuff that she learns about, it's like it's not even that powerful. Like she can't really, I don't know, it's like what does she have going for her that makes her stand out from like anyone else? I don't know. I just thought she was really bland, which was annoying because at the very beginning I really liked her.
Yeah.
And it went on the whole weird like Beauty and the Beast thing, and then I feel like her whole personality got lost because we were too busy like jumping from weird setting to setting and getting details about weird like magic stuff. But I was like, it's still like she's still the main character, and I feel like we don't. I don't know. She was just so boring.
Yeah.
All this stuff like happened to her. Like she didn't do anything.
Yeah. I thought she was like the dumbest bitch alive.
Mm-hmm.
She would do some stupid things, and I realized for the first, I want to say 30% of the book, she passed out 6 times minimum. I stopped counting after 6. Like the chapters would end like, and then fade like, and then I saw black, and the next one was like, I woke up like 10 hours later, and I'm like, I swear, if she passes out one more time, I'm quitting.
Yeah.
And I was like, can we not like switch to a different chapter without her passing out? I swear half the chapters were ended because she passed out and then woke up in the next chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they're justified, but didn't it happen that often? It pissed me off like on a whole nother level. I don't know why.
Well, like literally, like what do we know about her and her interests except the fact that she likes books? Like that's her entire personality. Is I like books. And I was like, okay, like that's cool, but what else do you have going on for you? I don't know.
Yeah, I was always like, well, what kind of books do you like? Because I assume all the books in the library aren't like the same kind of book.
Right.
So I was like, is there one you prefer? Like, do you like this one better? Or like, we got none of that. Like, do you prefer math or science or whatever? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you read all this much, but I feel like you need to have some preference. You know what I mean?
I don't think she liked books so much as she liked the fact that they were like entities and they were actual beings and had thoughts and could do things, so they were kind of like her friends in that way. And I feel like that's as far as that went. And other than her personality, it's totally just like the she just likes books thing, as well as her being brash. I don't know if brash is the word, but she like acts. She's very like, you know, with her sword, always trying to fight, and that's why Nathaniel calls her Menace, which I thought was adorable. But yeah, I thought it was cool. But yeah. It's kind of weird that that's the only real thing you know about the main character.
She's tall and she likes books. That's it.
Yeah, and for such a long book, I think we should know more.
I know. I was like, if this is a novella, like that's fine, but
yeah, like I don't need character development in a novella.
Yeah, I feel like we know more about Nathaniel than we do about her.
True. We know so much about Nathaniel.
Nathaniel,
full backstory. You know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wait, I totally remember that. Did you guys like that thing or Nathaniel's backstory?
I like his backstory. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was interesting that his backstory kind of gave him like night terrors.
Right.
Which I thought was interesting that you don't see a lot in fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
That was weird, but I saw this one review. I don't remember who it was by, but they were like, "Oh, this book has amazing queer representation." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
really.
That felt like she just dropped that in to say that, so that you can say that it's in there, but it's not. Yeah. I remember hearing that too. I was like, "That's gonna be so cool," and then
it was like,
it's like a sentence. It's like, okay. That was
I
disappointing.
wish it was more than just a sentence. At least like maybe brought up at a different part of the book, maybe once. I don't know. Maybe saying like, "Oh yeah, that guy is cute" or something, or like something more than just that one sentence.
Yeah.
Put it into play, make it a triangle with her and Silas and that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with her just putting it in there, like, oh, I used to have a crush on that prince over there. And I feel like that kind of like makes you feel like, well, why are you saying that? Is it like part of it?
Yeah, it wasn't even relevant.
Yeah, like it wasn't. I don't know. It didn't feel great. It felt a little slimy. It felt a little slimy. Just throwing that one sentence in, and that was it.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, not into it. Not cool.
No.
Yeah.
How did it end?
I'm trying to remember because I feel like I can't remember the ending. I remember after the battle, I know that they tried to bring Silas back.
Mm-hmm.
Nathaniel was hurt. Was that did she get reinstated with the library?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know she said she didn't want to be a magistrate. I think that was what the title was called. Warden? Why did I say magistrate? I don't know. That sounded official. It sounds official. But yeah, but then I don't know. I feel like Silas's death was stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh my god. That brings up the fact. Okay. So remember how he tells her as soon as when they bring him back that time after he dies for saving Nathaniel, and he tells her his real name and says, "Don't say my name and free me because I'm evil and you do is gonna fix that." I'm like,
and then she freed him. Oh my god.
I know. She's so dumb.
Bitch. I was like, do you want the world to explode? Do you want everyone to die? Because that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and I feel like it revealed the plot of the ending because it's like, okay, why would he say that to her? Because now she's obviously gonna do that in the end because she's
true
about it twice. I'm just like,
I think he wanted her to do it. That's probably why he said it. Because I can't think of any other reason why he would say it. Like if he didn't want her to do it, he wouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
So, or they're just like plot convenience just to move the plot along. That's all I could think about. Only two reasons why he said it.
Yeah.
And then she did it in the end, and he turned evil, and he was calling Nathaniel names for talking to him.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you're good inside. And I'm like, stop it. Stop.
Yeah.
But okay, because that happens in the end, because he kills an Archon or whatever, that shows that he has emotions towards humans. So that gives me hope that maybe he likes Elizabeth, because in the end, it shows her trying to bring him back. But because the one that won was Silas and not, the actual demon person, that's why when she said his name as Silas when they tried to bring him back, that the candles went out or something. So if there's a sequel, there's the possibility or the hope of her being with Silas.
I don't know.
Nathaniel's so boring.
He is boring.
He is.
I wish there was more from him. Like, did anyone else get a feeling that this was kind of more? It felt historical to me because a lot of times they would mention that the year was 18. I can't remember the rest of the year. It was in the 1800s, so I was like, are we in this world? Are we in a different world? Are we why is we in the 1800s? Is the 1800s in that? I was really confused about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just assumed. Yeah, I don't know if I ever thought about is this our world or a different one? I just figured it was old timey, but. Yeah.
Because I just keep remembering. I remembered it would mention the year. It would mention just stuff that would be around in that time.
Yeah.
It had horse-drawn carriages, not the regular ones, but the actual horse-drawn carriages and
lanterns and stuff.
Yeah, Yeah, so I was like is this our world? Like, I don't know. I was confused. I feel like I never got really any answers.
No, it never said.
Yeah, now I'm like, I'm confused. And if it's a different world, then why is it the 1800s?
Yeah, it's
like,
really.
does it happen to have like our same Christian calendar? Like, I'm confused.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably wanted to give us the feel of like the clothing and like the transportations and what the buildings might have looked like.
Yeah.
That's as best as saying the actual date did for me.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it gave me I could picture the setting and stuff better, but.
That's true. But I did have that thing in the back of my head.
Yeah, that is strange.
Now I'm like, I gotta look that up. Like, what? Is there a wiki page about it? I don't know. That tells me. I don't know. It was weird.
I think this book would have been 10 times better if she didn't like have her powers thing, the weird thing. And in the end, it wasn't so drawn out and taken from Harrow's to the Royal Library and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
But if when the Archon was summoned, she kills Ashcroft because that would be awesome. And then because they can't stop the summoning, she summons him. And she becomes a magister person, which would like completely sever her from the library, which would add like some kind of like inner turmoil for her in like the next book. And then she would also be a sorcerer.
Right.
Awesome.
True.
I think that just would have made it better.
Well, yeah, because she would have like had an actual like she's changed so much since the beginning of the book kind of thing.
Yeah.
But she did not change really.
Yeah, because she's back to being an apprentice.
I know. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's going to be a sequel to this book.
See, that's what I thought, but then it was weird that it like
ended that.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I thought it was weird because like based on what the author doesn't seem like she's going to write a second book.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably like what she says in like interviews and stuff. But then it's kind of like that's such a weird ending.
Yeah.
Maybe left it open just in case she wanted to write a sequel, but like I don't know.
That is so messed up. Because if there's not going to be a sequel, I'm going to be left wondering forever what's going to happen with Silas.
True.
And you know, when you look up fan art, there's not really much of Silas. It's just him as a cat on Nathaniel's shoulder, and it's like
that's true.
So much more than that.
Yeah. There was one thing I feel like that kind of bothered me throughout the book is that the libraries, like all of them together, they're strong disdain for like magic and sorcery, but then I felt like, but aren't the books magical? Like I feel like because the books were like their own entity, kind of monsters, kind of things. Is what I interpret them to be, and I'm like, I feel like those aren't natural. So like, I don't know. So it kind of confused me. I was like,
yeah.
If you don't like magic, then all these books are magical. So I don't know. There's a lot of things where I was like, I'm confused. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's the warden role that was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
They hate magic, yet they protect the magic books.
Yeah, and I was like, why don't you burn them? I'm surprised there wasn't like no magic burning ceremony or something.
Yeah. Because
I was like, that's weird. I don't know. And then you like let the sorcerers in and like, oh, here's my entire library. Enjoy everything.
Yeah.
Like, I was surprised there was like no, like a sorcerer ban or something. And that could have been like a cool conflict in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Other than just like, sorcerer, evil, but you can still look at my library.
Yeah.
Which I was like, okay.
Yeah, that is
supervised as well.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because isn't that how Nathaniel and Elizabeth first meet? Is because they're like, she was hiding and he was in the room by himself or something. And I was like, well, if you don't like sorcerers, then why did you leave him unsupervised?
Yeah.
I don't know. Either the libraries need to do better at their job, or I don't know.
Yeah.
That was weird. And that weird rule that the librarians had to be orphans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, why? Does it matter? If they just go and like say like, screw my family, like, doesn't matter. I don't know. Maybe just like to be more faithful to the library, but like I don't understand the strict rule.
And even weird that they don't take them until the 13th.
True. And then they were like, but then they kept Elizabeth, which didn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who raised her? Do they have diapers? Did people know how to take care of a baby? Like, they were just like, oh, cool, baby now. Does anyone have any diapers? Like, how do we do this?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel it's like they could have had, because like the world, we never got any info on it, but it's like interesting. So I feel like it could have been like a series or like a trilogy even, to get like the first book is like her growing up at this library and then like turning 13 and like getting her job. And like we'd get a bunch of backstory about all that kind of stuff. And then it's like, then you could have this book like split into 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just like, you're going out to write a fantasy standalone. Why are you explaining all the wrong things and then leaving it like somewhat open-ended at the end? It's just really weird. Like it's so like overcomplicated, but then she didn't explain any of it. So I don't know.
I feel like the book could have ended after, like, been included her childhood more, but also ended after, I want to say after the first Ashcroft incident.
Mm-hmm.
And then that could have been its own book, and it would have been like 300 pages, and I would have been cool with that. And then second book totally could have been the rest, and then just cut out all the slow parts.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Interesting, yeah. And then that first part add more like world building and character development, and maybe enhance Nathaniel really. I don't know. Could have done a lot of that.
Yeah.
It's my preferred way. That's what I like. But yeah.
Yeah. I can't really think of anything else I wanted to talk about.
I can't either.
I thought that the libraries were all in like pentagram shape. I thought that was kind of cool. And when they said that, I like turned to the map and was like, oh, no crap. What?
Oh, there's a map? In the audiobook, I was like so confused. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, so how are these? Can I see that map? I'm curious now. Oh, okay.
There's these keys. There's this. Wait. Okay, I can't see. Okay. Key. And all the keys are the libraries. So there's like this one. There's one over here, over there, over here, and then in the center is key because
I got you.
It's in the page is Brassbridge, which is I guess where the Royal Library is. So it's like that circly pentagram star shaped thing.
Okay,
so
that makes sense.
I was like, no way, I didn't even notice.
I feel like if I had the map, I would have been like, oh yeah, that makes a shape. I don't know if that's relevant, and I would have kept going and would have been like, oh, son of a.
Yeah, weird how they were placed, and then when they said that, I was like, bro.
I was like, assuming in this world, pentagram also stands for demon, and all that stuff works.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah, the whole demon, that whole thing was, I feel like, almost unnecessary and like terribly explained. Yeah. And like you could just have like the sorcerer book situation, and then they threw this whole demon thing in there. And I don't know, it was like way too much.
True. What I thought would be interesting is you just cut Nathaniel all together, but then make Silas a sorcerer and a demon. I think that would be interesting to see how that goes. So then, like, only demons can do magic, and like people were like awed by him, but also like fearful of him, and then seeing how that situation could have gone. I don't know. I think that would be cool.
That would be cool.
And then Silas, I think I would actually like him more. I would have been like, "Ooh, look, Silas." That's. And if he just didn't for the entire book, it would have been great.
The whole like dynamic just reminded me of A Curse So Dark and Lonely, where it's like the main like love interest guy is like boring as hell, and then his like servant person is way more interesting. And I don't know. I was like, this again?
I feel like all of our books have kind of been like that. There's been like 3 people, and usually it's like a girl is the main character. There's other 2, and we usually are like, we like the side character more than the other guy, man.
Yeah.
I think, oh God, what was his name? Ren. Ren is definitely better than Nathaniel, but I do agree where I was more towards Gray. Yeah. Cause I just like the silent, mysterious ones. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Because like Ren and Nathaniel were more like loose with how they felt and with their I don't know what they like, or like letting you know that they like you. Whereas Silas would just be off, being like, "Oh, miss, blah blah blah," and you knew he was strong because you know he was a demon and all that junk, but he was also like polite and had to be clean and stuff. So I was just like, I feel you, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
But Nathaniel was good like the first half of the book. If they could have just kept him the same, it would have been fine. But I just got bored, and then I was like, no, thank you. It took me way longer to read like the second half. It was very upsetting.
Yeah, I feel like if I didn't have the audiobook, it would have taken me like the whole month to read.
Oh my gosh, me too.
I would have been like 3 page 300. I would have been like, I swear to God.
How many pages is it?
I think it's over 400. I want to say it's like 465. I looked it up on Goodreads for some reason.
453.
That was close.
Yeah, that should have been like 350 or 300.
Like you could have taken so much of that out, but then actually add character development.
Yeah.
I read this much in like a couple days, and then it started getting slow. So like the rest of it took me forever.
That's true.
It's so sad. But I have like such a good feeling about the next one.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be better than this.
Mm-hmm.
I
hope so.
And then next live show, I'll be like, well, this was shit.
Yes. The guy character gives me like the Darkling vibes. Like he's like the god of death or something.
Yeah, I love books with gods of death. Gods of death.
Yes.
Are great.
Yeah, I like my goal by the end of the year is for me to rate one of our book club picks 5 stars.
Oh, I would love
like or even 4. I don't know if I've given one a 4.
I think the highest you've given was like 3.5.
Yeah.
I want to say.
But yeah, that's my goal. So we'll see. I'm excited about September's.
Yeah, I think a lot of our books that win are like books that are like really hyped, and then we read them, and then they don't live up to it. So we're like, oh.
What if we did like a month where we only pick books that aren't hyped just to see what happens?
I feel like that's what Sarah does every month.
True.
And then it never wins.
We do that with all of our picks, but we just don't. We pick books that like no one's heard of.
Yeah, seriously though.
And then see what happens. Like we just pick books that everyone's like, the hell is that?
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how that goes.
This one that I put because I was gonna put Perfect Chemistry, but I wanted something because I had already put that one up already. I wanted to pick something that was more towards like the theme. So I like looked up ones, and that one had the best title for me. And then I learned about Cecilia's one, and I really wanted that one. So when I was making the poll, it wouldn't let me put the whole title. So I just put, Death Dickinson in the D. So I was like, I don't know if everyone's going to want to read that because I don't know what it is. and then I like gave it a couple days before I put up the pictures of the books for them to like know what it was. And then people like started to vote for it a little bit. But I was trying to make the other one win.
Yeah, I think it would be fun if we did do a month where like none of the books are hyped, and then we see what wins and what we enjoyed. Maybe we'll all love that book.
Not current one.
Yeah, I feel like if we do like a backlist title or just one that hasn't gotten a lot of like booktube hype, I think that would be interesting.
Yeah.
I'll definitely have to think about my next one then.
I know, I'm like, have to go through. Like,
I need to look through my books.
Like, I have books that aren't hyped, but I'm also like, do I want to read them? Not do I want to read them, but
you want a not hyped book, but one that we'll also love.
Sure, like, do I want to read them as the book club? So that's the thing. I don't know. I'll have to look.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I'll have to go through like my library because I added so many books to my Goodreads to-do this month. It's crazy. I had like 0, and now I have like 100.
That's my problem. Is like I refuse to buy books, and so like the last couple months I just like don't want to. So I'm like, all of our picks are ones that I don't own, and they've been hyped, so I cannot get them from the library in time. Oh. And so I'm gonna have to audiobooks this month too because I'm like number 15 on the library thing. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, I'm probably just gonna be hella lazy in October and be like, what's a book I already own that that sounds good that no one's heard of, which is probably all of the ones. Because I feel like I don't have anything on my shelves that's like current and like popular. Mm-hmm. So that'll be interesting.
Mine are just like books I find for free, and I'm like, that looked cool, and I grabbed it.
Mm-hmm.
And then like
some on sale from Amazon, they're like $8 or less.
Wait, sorry, what did you say?
I like go on Amazon whenever I have like maybe like $30.
And
I'll go on Amazon and I'll find like I'll get mostly paperbacks because those are the ones that are less. But sometimes you'll find hardbacks that are like $8, and I'll like fangirl scream. Because I think this one I got because it was on sale. I think maybe I got it for like $6. And I actually love it. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I'm almost like halfway through. I read this all today.
Oh, wow. That's good.
That's awesome.
I think I've only bought one brand new book this year.
You only bought one brand new book this year?
Yeah, everything else was either used or I found for free.
Dang.
And some are like a new condition. Like, I just don't buy books buy brand new books because I don't like to. It's not environmentally friendly. So I get used books at books from the library. Mm-hmm. Like, half of my books are from the library. And the other half.
Yeah, I have a lot of those too.
I wish I could do that. That sounds way better.
That's cool.
Save money.
Oh yeah, like I spend no money on books. It's great.
So much.
Plus, I'm like, I have way too many books that I own that I haven't read yet. Mm-hmm. Like that was one of my biggest things of like I haven't bought a book in like a couple months now because I'm like, there's so much on here that it's like, why am I buying something new? And I've owned this. Whoa, hello. I've owned this book for like 3 years and have never read it. I hate that.
Yeah, like I refuse to. Like, this is my bookshelf. I refuse. I will not let it get bigger more than this. I will not get a second bookshelf.
Yeah,
I will not have books stacked like on the side of it. Like, no, this is the amount. We might put some on top. Actually, the only thing I'm putting on my top is my National Geographics. But other than that, no more than this.
Yeah, see, I have 2 bookcases and I have 2 free shelves. I have a free shelf on each, and I'm like, that's it. Like, I'm not getting a 3rd bookcase. So now usually when I get a book, I'll like get rid of one because I'm like, I can't. I'm going to hoard them if I don't like set myself a limit like that.
Yeah. I have like a free cube, which is about 8 to 10 books. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I can fill up because I just got rid of a bunch. So I'm like, I can get rid of that. I can fill up that cube. Nothing else. I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
No more free little libraries.
It's hard too, because like when you get them used, they're so cheap like that. I'm so tempted to get like 10. And I'm like, no.
$2 books at half price books. I'm like, yo. I was like, let's get them all.
Yeah.
That's it. But yeah. Awesome. This is cool. We're at 55 minutes. That's lit. So yeah, our next book is That's lit. So our next book is, what is it? Gods of Jade. It was my pick, so I don't even know. Gods of Jade and Shadow by Sylvia Garcia Moreno.
Moreno Garcia.
I know it's Moreno because that's my boyfriend's last name, so I remember that part. But other than that, I have no clue. But yeah, I don't know. I saw it at my library and I looked at the description. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, it sounds really good.
I'm like really happy about it. And it's like, it has like, not semi, it's like a semi-hyped new release. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's not like Cruel Prince level, but like, it's up there.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I think this is fun. I don't know. Anything else y'all want to say?
Nothing I can think of.
I was like,
honestly, I love doing this with you guys.
Me too.
Me too. It's fun.
About it.
I love just like discussing books like this, like live.
Yeah. I don't care if anyone never watches us or anything. You know.
There was 2 people earlier and then they left.
That's sad. That's okay. All I need is me, my buds, talking about book junk.
True.
It also doesn't help that I changed the time.
Yeah, we need to get better on that.
Because we like announced it and then we changed it.
And then we like waited and then we're like, oh, by the way, it's in an hour.
Yeah, so
we need to get better on that. We
should set it. Yeah, we should set it like 3 weeks in advance. Yeah.
And then been like, no one better do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is hard though, because it's like, since Mia's not doing it right now, it's like if we had 4 and one person last minute was like, I can't do it, it's like we could still do it with 3.
Yeah,
like,
but with
that time. Yeah, with 2, it's like half of us are gone. So
it feels wrong. It feels wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm free in September. I ain't doing shit. So
I might be switching jobs soon, so hopefully I'll have like a more steadier schedule.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
But yeah, this has been fun.
Read this book, you guys.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
It's so good.
Cool. But yeah, that's it for now, guys.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Goodbye, guys, or goodbye, audience.
Found it. Okay, bye.
There we go.